jump right into it. So this is just a brief agenda, just to give you an understanding of what we're going to go through. Very simple Fusion operation overview. We need to know what it does and how it can solve some stuff in your company. Product demo, quick Q&A, and of course, we're always available. If you think of something, maybe afterwards, when you join your friends tonight for a hockey game, whatever, and you discuss what you just saw today and how amazing it was, then come back to us. Send us an email if you have any questions. More than happy to help. Alrighty. So, Autodesk Fusion Operations overview. Now, disclaimer. First of all, I'm from Montreal, so you might hear my little French-Canadian accent in the background, but also Fusion Operation was called Prodsmart before. So if you see here and there a little Prodsmart mention, just blame it on loss in translation. Alrighty, so Fusion Operations' mission is to empower manufacturers and fabricators to go paperless and digitize and automate their operations. We'll see an example how I'm sure some of you are still using a whiteboard and some pieces of paper. It's all good. We'll show you a better way of doing things. The software solution helps to schedule, track, trace production and quality processes in real time with data capturing on the shop floor. So not only do you have real, almost instant live access to what's going on, but you don't have to redo the paperwork and whatnot. So what are the key takeaways to take from this webinar? First of all, by the end of this webinar, the goal is to show how these benefits can be achieved through the use of Fusion operations. It's very simple. There are multiple benefits, but here's a few that we decided to highlight, like the ability to increase your manufacturing flexibility and getting the necessary information to plan ahead for your next production run, or how to minimize your production waste. Also very important, especially nowadays. Most importantly, and I cannot emphasize more, how can you achieve all this with a quick and easy solution? You just got to go to your browser, a phone, sign up, install the app, and you can start obtaining results. It's not complex, no need for IT. I apologize if you work in IT, but we might not need you for that solution because it's browser-based or app-based. No expensive hardware, that's the best part. No Windows update or whatnot. And we're here to help. That's also a key takeaway. Now, again, let's jump right into it. What is Fusion Productions? Autodesk identified that most manufacturers and fabricators are still using paper, spreadsheet, whiteboard, Post-it to track process, and also to manage the office as well. Because shop floor is doing something, it needs to go up in the office so we can have an idea what's going on. Fusion Productions provides the shop floor centric solution, but it covers all business processes and the office as well. I love mentioning office. This, one of my teachers once said, it's where the AC is. So still fond memory of that. So old system or lack of, because not everyone has a system, is expensive. If you don't have a system, it's also very expensive because it's your resources are basically your employees, and they are expensive because they are phenomenal, and you're not necessarily paying them to fill spreadsheet or paper or anything. They usually don't give the mission critical information that enables us to be on top of the process. This leads to increased waste and scrap. Deadlines are missed because there's no visibility about scheduling attainment, and there's a low productivity overall. There's nothing worse than finishing a project and going, all right, did we make any profits on this or not? There's nothing worse than this, and it happens. And sometimes it's not just manufacturing, but it could be anything that touches the shop floor. Fusion Production, we move companies from the reality here on the left. So you see whiteboard, papers, to the reality on the right. Use a mobile app, barcode readers, QR code, and you capturing data in real time. And to enable both the managers and the workers, the operators on the floor, you use Fusion Production. Everyone will be on the single source of truth, the common data. That's it. We don't need to, by the end of the day, write down everything that was on a piece of paper and try to put it in an Excel spreadsheet, and then someone else can read. No, it's real time. We need it real time. With dashboard and reports and analytics tools that help everyone to be on top of what's happening and get operational visibility, leading to a decrease in raw materials waste and process waste. Very important again nowadays. Eliminating the known value and added time when the paper is being processed, obtaining visibility about the production process bottlenecks, increasing efficiency, revenue, money, and keeping your customers happy. This is very important. Fusion Production is built with the singular purpose of providing value to you now, real time. I invite you all to, at the end of this webinar, to ask us how you can access it. This is based on the fact that we have a very modular solution to avoid unnecessary complexity. Everything is plug and play and promotes quick and easy setup and collaboration. The data capturing on the shop floor uses standard devices like tablets, smartphones, barcode, QR codes, name it. Most importantly, we have a very flexible workflow engine that's highly configurable and supports all production types. Job shops with high mix, low volume, custom parts, mass production manufacturers. Most manufacturing software offering in the market are very complex. Takes months, sometimes years to be deployed. Some are very expensive or very, very IT team centric, I want to say. Fusion Production, nothing like this. So similar to everything Fusion in Autodesk realm, it's you log in, you have access to it, you can start using it. I wanted to use the verb play with it, but we're not playing. We're actually producing. Now, Fusion Productions goes beyond the shop floor and support all the other needs of the business process, from order to shipping, covering sales, purchasing, inventory management, MRP, which is, I had to Google it, material requirements planning, scheduling, production, and job tracking, quality, traceability, maintenance management. So everything you need from, think of it as a PDM or PLM system for production. You know, when we have a PDM PLM system, it's from ideation all the way to production or start of production. Fusion Production it's taking care of everything that needs after that. Very similar systems. All right, so we'll jump into the demo. This is where you might see some Prodsmart from the old interface, but it's exactly the same thing. So let's start by sharing what most of you have seen on any production floor. Paper Traveler, that probably a lot of you recognize from the company. So you've seen this a lot. You might have seen engineering change order, engineering change requests that are also paper-based. This is the most typical way of developing and managing production information, where the usual approach is, after receiving a client order, you have someone opening an Excel template and putting all the information you saw on top, the order code, what are the products you are supposed to produce, how many, and when are they due. Then you have to print this document out, give it to production supervisor, who or anyone else that's responsible to start production, and then this paper flows to the production flow along with the manufactured materials. So it's a bit crazy. Now, this is typical way to do a job. Traveler returns to the back office. Each of the workers registers the information regarding the operation they perform and hand it back to the back office team once production is finished. And now the piece of paper on the right looks good. I mean, there's no coolant or oil in it. It's still in this physical shape. But most of the times, those kind of paper are, well, you cannot read it most of the time. So three main issues with this. First of all, it is a lot of work to deploy. You have to have someone dedicated to generate a new order, production, opening an Excel file, editing a couple of fields, quantities, production. Like, this is crazy. Printing that out and giving it to the production team. Then you have to have the data tracking. So you might have, 5, 10, dozens of people registering data in multiple different paper forms. But as a production manager, you have to walk around the factory for 50 minutes before finding out what is the status of that particular order you need more information on, and so on. And imagine this is if production is done at your facility. You might have a plant somewhere else, here in Montreal or Detroit or whatever. So imagine if you need information on parts that are being produced on those plants. That type of paperwork is absolutely not a single source of truth. It's absolutely not real time. Now, let me show you how we can digitize this traveler using Fusion Production. What you're seeing in Fusion Production on the left is the exact same thing as the paper traveler you are seeing on the right. You can define all the information. You can see on the paper traveler the job code, the production you want to produce, the product you want to produce, the quantity, the start date, the end date. You can customize your specific sequence of production operation and assign those specific workers and machines. And a very simple way, you can customize whatever workflow you might have. Now, with Fusion Production, I just want to show you with Fusion Production, with less effort than a classic paper approach, you can easily deploy a new production order with a couple of clicks with your specific workflow. And instead of having a dozen of different papers, forms spread across the production floor, you have all the information about all productions, orders centralized and updated in real time, where you can have real-time insights about real job progressions, overall productivity, estimated times, this is real work time, and so on and so forth. So you know if you're profitable or not. For the production team, it's even simpler. With Prodsmart mobile app that you can use in any device, instead of using pen and paper to register data, any worker can log his worker ID. So that's interesting. So as an example, we have now a phone, doesn't matter which phone you're using or tablet or anything like this, and we can type in a worker ID. So let's take Mark as an example. Mark with a K. I'm Mark with a C. Mark with a C. Workers number 11, you can scroll and select the order you want to start, select the product you will be working on, and the operation will be performing. This is the exact same thing as going back to the paper example, registering the time of start of production, with the difference being that this information is available in real time for all the organizations to see. So everything is simple. Everything is real time. Everyone can see what's going on, who's working on what. It's super simple. Now, if we fast forward 30 minutes, let's say Mark wants to register the end of production. Real simple process. Log his worker ID again, quantity, and submit. Quantity and submit. Super easy. What was just done was the exact same thing as registering the information any worker will log on the paper for the first operation, start time, end time, quantity, and so on and so forth. Besides all of this, with a simpler process than the typical paper approach, as a production manager, you can have real-time visibility into what is going on in your production floor, what each of the worker is working on, and again, all of this by following the paper process in Prodsmart. So very interesting and very straightforward, and you don't have to worry about training as much. It might be a new system, but it's simple. You're a worker, put in your idea, put in the quantity, and that's simple. And then this is all the different workers, this is all the different dashboards that we have. This is real time. And yet again, you didn't have to install anything. You didn't have to upgrade your servers. Everything is log in and use, super simple. Now, it's simple to use. It's simple to see what's going on. Besides all of this, you can leverage on a lot of different information. You can define in Fusion Production, for example, what is the possibility of defining the estimated time of production for every operation and product. You can visualize your production plan based on the jobs that you have scheduled. Get a quick snapshot of what is finished, what is going on, what is delayed. The good old Gantt chart. So you can make the best possible decision with the information Fusion Production gives you. Besides this, great fact or great plus, you can get an overview and compare your capacity versus workload, and easily identify gaps in your schedule and easily readjust your production plan in order to maximize your efficiency. Again, right there, data almost at your fingertips, and then you can reorganize everything you need if needed. This is what's not to love. And also for people that loves Gantt chart, this is beautiful. With the possibility of creating bills of materials, you can plan your material requirements, which gives you the prediction based on the production orders you have scheduled. What are the components and raw material you'll need and how much you have? To what orders you'll need those, and if you have enough of or you are predicted to have stock outage. So you can make the best decision possible when it comes to purchasing. All of this just with the creation of those paper travelers that I showed you before, but in the digital solution. Everything is in there. And this is what we meant from shop floor to the office where the AC is. Everything is there. Everyone can use it. Everyone can have a real view of what's going on. So procurement know exactly what they need to order if they need to order anything, and they have a quick view to see it as well. With the information that is being logged by the production team, you can have full visibility of your machine status, what machines are working, which are stopped. So if you're Mark, you're logging in and you created 2 parts, you can also say machine is down for maintenance. I was moved to something else, or I'm going to do maintenance on machine because it reached the amount of cycles or hours that was needed. So everything is again there in the dashboards. So if you have different plants, different division, you have a clear view of what's going on. You don't have to rely on paper or emails or whatever the system you're using. Everything is in there, very, very easily accessible. As you can see here, simple form. You just enter the information, everything is in there. So not only are you tracking products, machining, production, but you're also tracking your machine. And all this is included, or all this can be managed within the workflows as well. Now let's close the loop. When you get to the end of a production or a batch or a cycle, besides the overall information you can see on the production orders dashboard, with a click of a button, you can generate a report where you can see everything that happened for that specific order. Now that's something that you can share with a customer. It's something that you can share as best practices, lessons learned, anything you wanna use that for. You can also see who worked, how many hours, on what parts, who's maybe, how much time it took for finishing or anything like this. Everything you need to data, you need to measure, you need the metrics you can get with Fusion Production. Of course, you can customize, I'm sure you knew by now, how you generate your reports. So imagine if you're doing this or trying to do this manually based on the paper route. If you have to gather all the different pieces of paper of all the production cells, gather that into an Excel spreadsheet and try to do this and maintain it and make sure it's absolutely on point with critical and the right data, that will be almost impossible. Look at this. This is beautiful. And this is all coming from what the information that was entered in Fusion Productions. Misty, I don't know if I don't see it super well. I apologize. That's all me. But I don't see if we have any questions yet.
We don't as of yet, but I did find something that I wanted to show on the screen. We do have a 14-day free trial. So you can go to that page and just kind of scroll down. There's a contact for free trial. So reach out to us for that so we can absolutely hook you up there. If you guys think of any questions that you didn't ask at the webinar, I'm going to put my email in here. You can reach out to me. I'll get you connected with the right people with the right answers. And Mark, thank you so much for today. Are there any final thoughts or any questions that you usually get?
Yes. So I want to make sure that I put the emphasis on you can customize the forms, the inspection quotes, you can customize everything using your logos and your own quote unquote paper format into Fusion Productions. So you don't have to worry. It's not set in stone. You can absolutely customize everything. So that's something that most customers are worried about, but logos and everything can be in there as well.